Yes. All right, Sims,
Yes,
thank you
yes.
so much for doing this interview with me. It's been a while since I interviewed you, which is I feel like I've wanted to for a long time
Mhm.
since Stillness.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like great area. Like I had so many questions I wanted to ask, but like obviously didn't happen. So now that we get to talk about Drop Six, like I'm so excited.
Sick.
But before we get into that, how have you been? Like, how you been for real, for real?
For real, it's definitely been up and down. It's definitely been a madness, but I think like I'm settled now and I'm cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
it's a weird time for everyone that I think is like, especially for like people that don't spend much time by themselves. It probably is like, um, for me, I think it's been a learning experience.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Just simply
Then,
like,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
just simply like because I haven't had that time to really just figure out like what's been bothering me and stuff like that. So it's
Mhm.
definitely been that time to really narrow in and like, yeah, Lash, this is what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, proper. It's like same in it, but I think obviously like I live alone. I've been living by myself since I was like 21, so I'm used to being alone. But like I've said before, it's different to choosing to be alone and being forced to be alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, that's where it gets hard.
yeah, of course. I want to talk about the post you put up before you put Drop Six out.
Mhm.
For someone that doesn't like, I feel like when it comes to you, you don't really, unless it's in your music, you don't really like openly say how you feel. Do you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So why did you want to put that out there?
I didn't at first, to be
No?
honest. Like I wrote it, and it was just gonna go in. Like I made this photography book.
Yeah.
Just gonna be like the preface is just gonna go in the book, and then I sent it to Jeremy, um, who's like my creative director, and he was like, "Do you know what? I think this will align perfectly with Drop Six. Like I think you should put it out."
Mm.
And at first I was like, I don't know, like
Yeah.
one thing like having people that are close to me read it, but then the whole world, like, that's a bit
Yeah, because
much.
you're ultimately like you're letting the world in on how you feel.
Yeah, exactly. It's like having, everyone read my diary. It's like
Mm.
super personal. And I know like music is like that essentially too, but when it's just a piece of writing, there's no, it don't get more direct than that.
Yeah. There's nothing to hide. Like there's no beat, there's no flow. There's literally my words, this is how I'm feeling, and you gotta take it for what it is, kind of thing.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
It was dope. All right,
Um,
so Drop Six. We haven't
mm,
had a drop for a long time.
mhm.
And I feel like this is something me and my friends sit in my room and talk about, like, nah, Sims needs to give us a tape, something that's not just an album. Like, we can't do these every 3 years thing. Like, I need something now kind of thing. And
Yeah.
like, literally, I've had these conversations. And then when you posted that you was going to put a tape out, I was like, oh my God. I was so gassed. I don't think you understand. But why did you think it was a good time to put a tape out?
um, just purely based on like the situation at hand, and I felt like, whether or not this sees the light of day, I just want to work on something.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say that I was gonna drop a tape until I had the music, and I was like, all right, yeah, I feel like I want to put this out. Because even as I was making it, I was still unsure if I wanted to put it out. Like it might just
Yeah.
be hard drive classic, and just live on my computer, and that's it.
No, I'm so glad you did though.
But yeah,
Because
no,
I never thought you was gonna put a tape out again like that.
really.
I didn't. I was like, nah, she's past it. She ain't gonna do it. I really thought. I literally was like, nah, she's gonna give us albums and that's it. She ain't gonna
Uh,
drop a tape. So I was gassed. I was proper excited.
that's it.
This one doesn't have much features. Got one feature on it.
Mm.
I'm used to the drops having a lot more features, obviously.
Yeah.
Was that something conscious, or is it just based on the situation at hand?
Yeah, no, it was more just based on the situation at hand. Like, I know, like, it's difficult, not, some people can record at home and stuff, but, not everyone has access to studio. And I didn't want it to be like, I don't know, but I wasn't approaching it like an album, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was approaching it like, oh, I want to call in these features or what have you. It was just a bunch of vibes with the Aloea song. Like, I think Aloea is sick, and
Yeah, she's cold.
she freestyled that hook. That
Oh,
was like,
swear.
it was a one take thing. She just hopped on the mic and just sung it, and I was like, what? This is bad. And then when I decided to put it on my EP, she wanted to, re-record it and stuff, and she did. And I was like, it's cool, it's sick, but there was just something magical in the first take.
Yeah, yeah,
And sometimes when you get it the first time around, like, it's hard to replicate that. So I just
100%.
decided to keep the original vocal, and go with that. Yeah.
It's that song. I think it's a nice roundup of the tape as well.
Right.
It sits perfectly at the end. But I wanna jump in and talk about a little bit like how the process started. Like, did you just record it all at home by yourself,
Hmm.
and then like just during this time?
Yeah. During
Sick.
this time, I worked with a producer called Cal Banks, who's with TD,
Yeah,
Osiris, OTG, um, Black Vinyl, and St. Francis Hotel. And it was like, it's cool as well because these are, people that are my friends essentially.
yeah,
And um, I know, like, Grey Area was just me and Flo, and we have great chemistry. And it's cool to, I don't know, just be able to, bring some other people that I think are really talented, and collaborate on something else,
yeah,
which was cool, and everyone delivered on it,
yeah. Of you
you know. And as well, like, I just wanted it to feel like just kind of like SoundCloud days, you know what I'm saying? When I just
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like when you said you was putting it out, I was like, oh my god, she's gonna drop it on SoundCloud. Like, and then, but obviously it doesn't make sense to drop it on SoundCloud now. But
right,
like, I was just like, what if she does? It's gonna
yeah,
be like old
yeah, no,
school days.
100%. And it's still up there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
the SoundCloud community or what have you. But I understand that obviously music's going in a streaming direct, or been going in a streaming direction.
yeah,
So I wanted to open it up, and a lot of people, like, don't know me from back in the day. They just even know me from Stillness or Grey Area or what have you. So even me calling it Drop Six, it's like, what's this Drop
that's
Six?
that's another thing I want to talk about as well. It's like, the last show I went to was
Yeah.
the first Grey Area show.
Uh, in
Earth. I was at Earth. I think it was at Earth. Was
There
it
was
Earth?
two, the Courtyard one, which was really small, and then there was Earth, which was in
I
like
went to
October.
both, but the Earth one, yeah, the crowd, yeah, was
Yeah,
like loads of different people that I was like, this is a new Sims crowd. Do
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like there were certain songs I'm like, but do you know this one though? Like, do you know what I'm saying? And but what I've realized is that through Grey Area, through Top Boy, obviously you've gained a whole bunch of different following now. So
hmm
Drop Six must have seemed like a whole different Sims to a lot of new people.
yeah, for sure. But I think that's cool, and I think, like, it's just people, hearing this and then being like, oh, I didn't know, like, this was a thing, this whole EP series thing. So they
Yeah,
go back and they listen to the other drops and what have you, and it just, like, gives people more of an insight in my story. Like, I'm been really doing this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not like, I didn't just come through yesterday with
yeah,
Grey Area, you know.
of course.
Um, but yeah, and as well, and I think just like for the day ones, you know what I'm saying, like yourself and people that know about the H101 drop series, or even before that with the mixtapes and stuff, like just
Mm,
feeding that audience. And I'm still there. I can still get into that zone, into that pocket. And even just in myself, like taking it back to basics. Obviously, I recorded it all here in my living room,
yeah.
and it was like a similar setup when I was living at my mum's and I was just making music in my bedroom, just
You got a
annoying.
jarring neighbor now, though.
Oh, oh, he's eased up. He's definitely eased up, and we've worked out like a little,
You've got a
thing.
time frame.
Yeah, got the time frame. But it's cool. Do you know what? It's more so in me, innit? Because I played music quite loud. To be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah,
if I kept it at a certain level, it would be fine. But like, I'd turn my shit up.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it just kind of took me back to that space, like I was saying, just being at my mum's or whatever, making and annoying my other neighbor Mary. It was literally that
It
again.
must have been nostalgic though, like to just bring
Yeah,
it back to basics and stuff.
proper.
Yeah, I feel that. What's your favorite song on the track, on the tape,
I
if you have
think,
one?
yeah, You Should Call Mum is up there for me.
Yeah, that's one of mine.
I like Damn Right as well.
Damn right, it's hard.
You think?
Hard. Listen, it's like my new workout song at the moment,
I
but it's hard.
mind you. Thank you.
Hard. Yeah, nah. You Should Call Mum. I think it's my friend's favorite at the moment. Like when we sit down and we listen to this tape on whatever we're listening to on, like yeah, You Should Call Mum is right up there. So we're enjoying that one still.
That's it.
And Might Bang. Listen,
Right,
that song, yeah, it just, I don't know what it brings me back to, but it feels kind of I don't know, but like there was a time in my life where I was listening to a lot of MIA, them sort of artists, yeah. But I feel like the beat is just, it hits different. It's hard. Love it.
and
But
even
yeah,
that was produced by Cal Banks again, who produced Damn Right.
yeah.
And if you listen to both of those songs, you wouldn't think it's produced by the same
No,
person.
no way.
It's kind of like flow in a sense, like so versatile and so diverse and can dip into so many different styles. And I like that producers just send me weird stuff and just let me
Yeah.
try new things, as opposed to having this idea in their head of what they feel I'm
Suits you.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
just
That's
like
it.
send me the weirdest shit and I'll try it.
Yeah. Going on to a few, I feel like I'm going to sidetrack from grey area from drop six to grey area big time. But grey area, do you realize how special that album is though? For real, for real. Like it's not a compliment. This is not a compliment. It's a conversation. Like like, do you realize?
It's special to me.
It's a
Definitely,
special. Like that album's top notch. Like for real.
Thank you.
It's beyond. Like I knew it was gonna be good. Yeah. Like I knew it was gonna be good, but it hits different.
Yeah.
100%. I'm not the only one that feels like this though. I feel like everyone feels like this about grey area. The growth from like Stillness in Wonderland and A Curious Tales and that, like it feels like it just solidified everything. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But grey area, masterpiece, man. How was the whole touring experience with that for you?
Um, it was nuts. Like I can't tell you how many. I think we done like 100 shows last year. Like
Yeah.
the just from even the beginning of the year, like the Courtyard show, I think was the first time we performed it in its entirety, and like to then do the festival run and then play the Mercuries and then
Yeah.
do Earth and Kentish Town Fort, South America. Like just where it's taken me is like it's so, I don't know, it's weird, isn't it? Like especially now that I'm like at home or whatever and I can have all this time to reflect, because when you're in it, you're just in it and you don't really have a second to digest everything you're currently doing. You're just
Yeah.
going with it, you know what I'm saying? But when you, I don't know, take a step back from it and you're like, oh, wow, okay, that was a crazy experience. And again, like what you said, just sometimes I'd go out some nights on stage and look at the audience and think, wow, like, swear down, this is what you're into. Like,
100.
I would never think like, and I know you shouldn't judge. Anyone could be into anything, but
Yeah.
I think just because it's me and my music, it's even more like, oh, okay,
Like, you
cool.
mess with this, yeah? Like,
Yeah, literally.
yeah, for real.
Just kind of goes, I don't know, it just shows me anyway that I can, you know, reach so many different people, and there's not like a limitation, or there's not like one certain demographic where my music only appeals to those type of
Yeah.
people.
That's the beauty in it, though, isn't it? Like,
Right.
that's what's amazing about even just going to the show. Like, I see people I know, I see people, I meet people there, do you know what I'm saying? And there's like people that I've met at your show that have become cool with me since, do you know what I'm saying? And it's, that's the specialness in it. That's what I'm saying, do you know what I'm saying? I said what I'm saying, bear, flip, innit? But yeah, that's the specialness in like your shows, your music, and why I'm saying, do you realize how special that tape is, do you know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
But
Yeah, it was a
the
good
Grey
time.
Area tape, that album, obviously you reach vulnerability, peak,
Hmm. Hmm.
like the peak. How was
Yeah.
that for you?
At the time I was writing it, it was definitely scary because, you know, you kind of like, as much as I'm very honest in my music, and I've always written from a very introspective place, a very open place, and that's fine. And I know there's something in that people connect with and relate to. But obviously, when you start, you know, really storytelling and telling real life situations and saying people's names, and it just takes it to a different level of openness, you
Yeah, of
know.
course.
And especially if like you haven't healed from certain situations, and then you put the album out, and then got to do interviews and be asked about it, and you kind of
Yeah,
get, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But I'm happy I did that, because I think it only made me stronger, to be honest. And I think every time I go back and I like, sometimes I'll just rummage through my SoundCloud stuff, and it is truly like a diary. It's like I'll listen to certain things and be like, oh yeah, I remember when I was going through that,
yeah,
or
of course.
I remember when, you know, I used to have the one braid, and like
Mm-hmm.
hats was my thing, and you know what I'm saying, it was me in space or whatever it is. Like, I want to be able to just continue that, so when I get to album number 6 or what have you, I listen to Grey Area and be like, oh yeah, that was
Exactly, yeah,
through that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
um, I think that's cool, because life goes fast, innit? And I think it's good to just document stuff, even if you're not a musician or not in the creative field or what have you. Just, I think, writing things down, and yeah, I think that's super important, just to look back on for yourself, you
yeah.
know.
Because I was saying earlier to my friend, like, I feel like the previous tapes you tell us, you vent to us, do you know what I'm saying? You vent, you tell us what on, you tell us
Sorry,
what's
I'm
on your
sorry
mind.
about it. I'm sorry if it just
No, but I get it, do you know what I'm saying? But this time,
yeah.
like, you was like, nah, this, I'm not just gonna tell you I'm annoyed, I'm gonna tell you why I'm annoyed and how much it's annoyed me. Do you get me?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's how it felt on the on Grey Area.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think in that was like, I remember when I, like, for example, Sherbet Sunset, like, I remember when I wrote that, and my
Oh
best friend in the
gosh.
studio with me, I had, you know, obviously Flo was there, and I was doing my thing, writing or whatever, and he was like, oh, say his name. I was like, what? You're going mad. There's no way. Like, that's too much. Mm-mm. And he was like, why? Like, just say his name. I turned to my best friend, and she was like, yeah, like, are you there? Like, are you sure? I was like, ah. And then I thought, do you know what? It just makes it more personal and more real
Yeah,
to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this is something, it's so, I can't sugarcoat this. You know,
yeah.
it's real.
Do you know
So,
what? The paint, like, the maddest thing about Sherbet Sunset, when I first heard it, I was like, I think, no, me and my friend Bridie, we had listened, we was like, we pressed play at the same time. So we was like, all right, cool, where you at now, yeah? And then I had heard Sherbet Sunset before, and I was like, oh my God, have you heard it yet? And she was like, no, not yet. So then she listened to it, and then I was like, oh my God, call me now. And then we was talking about it. But yeah, at first it was just more like oh man, like, this is life, fam. And
Mhm.
then I'd say I went through something similar.
Okay.
Went through that, and then your show was 2 weeks after.
Oh wow.
Bro, when Sherbet Sunset came on, I was bawling. I was like my friend was holding me. I was like, can't listen to this. Like,
No
it was
way.
hard, fam. And that's why I say it's touched so many different pockets of emotion that is like, even wounds, for example, like my brother got killed.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
like hearing wounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like the whole album just hit different. And that's why I say like it was proper up there, especially for me, and the vulnerability that you shown and how it's related to me emotionally and stuff like that. It's a very, very special album and very special to me.
Thank you. Thank you.
But let's talk One Life Might Live. Okay, so you say marriage ain't really on the cards, yeah? But we're talking, let's talk Stillness and Wonderland and then Morning. Because you're talking, yeah, you don't want to be single, you want to have kids, da 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 da. This is like real life. I get how you say it's your diary. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So 1 minute you want this, the next minute you're like,
That's life. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was writing Stillness and Wonderland, 100%, those are my thoughts. And it's like, bro, I'm not trying to be single forever and all this stuff. And then life continues. And since then, I've been in situations or what have you. And it's like, actually, if this is what comes with being married or what have you, then I'm not too sure about that.
yeah.
And I as well, like sometimes, you know, I'm only 26 right now, but I'm very aware that like I feel a lot older in my mind.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, I'm trying to find a balance between, I guess, just being young and free and doing my thing or what have you, but then also, you know, all my siblings got kids now, and you know,
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, at some point that
Got to
might,
get to it.
you know what I'm saying, at some point. But right now, yeah, and it's not to say, you know, I don't have to be married to have a family or to be in a relationship or what have you, but just like when I think about the idea of marriage or the concept, it's not
Yeah.
something that, knowing the kind of person I am, really appeals to me.
Yeah, it's not that appealing.
Not really, you
Yeah,
know
I
what I'm
get
saying?
it.
If I was to go down that path, it, you know, I guess it would be, I guess, for my family.
Yeah.
But even then, like, they're chill, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But then you might hear the next album
I was
and,
just about to say that.
you know,
Like
someone's proposing,
life
and I'm like,
happens. It happens. You know what I'm saying? No one loves you like you can love yourself. You've learned that. Tell me, what would you say you've learned about yourself during quarantine?
I definitely annoy myself.
How?
I definitely do little things that I've noticed that I'm trying to align my future self with my past self.
But why?
Meaning, because I just think it will make my life easier, to be honest. Like, I think, like, if I do things in the now, I know future Simbi will really appreciate that.
I feel you. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, just get it done. Like, just cook a meal and then just wash up now. Because you know what I'm saying? You're gonna come back to the kitchen and it's gonna be clean and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm glad. Just little things, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Which is sick. And I'm quite like, I am a bit of a clean freak anyway, and I do like,
Same.
I like order because I feel my life is very chaotic and it helps to keep my like feng shui,
Yeah.
like, order. So I'm just learning how to like be a lot more organized, but not in an obsessive way.
Yeah.
And not being too hard on myself. That's another thing I've learned. I'm very analytical and critical, and I can be
When I was reading that drop 6 thing, the post before you put it up, I was thinking she's way too hard on herself.
yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're human.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
okay. It's okay to mess up. It's okay to not put something out. It's okay to put something out. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I get that. I get that vibe that you're definitely hard on yourself.
100%. And I think it's because like I'm just trying to. I don't ever want to be complacent or comfortable. Like even when putting this out, I was 100% aware people are gonna hear this project and think, oh yeah, it's cool, but it's not grey area. And that's
Yeah.
fine. At the end of the day, you're only comparing me to me, which is sick.
Yeah.
And so that's fine. But at the same time, I'm not trying to make grey area too. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I'm in my living room, limited resources, and it was a vibe and it was a way for me to stay creative and just be in the now. And
Yeah.
I like it and I want to give it to people, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have the luxury of bringing in a string quartet
Yeah, of
and
course.
session musicians and
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that. Um, you'll get that and you'll get that on the other projects or what have you. But for this, you know, I just wanted to this is just vibes, just be
Yeah.
easy. You know?
I do think though, like none of your tapes are comparable to each other.
Right.
Like it's just, this is the body of work now.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is it. Don't
Yeah,
compare
yeah.
it with anything else because everything's so different.
But people are naturally going to do that, isn't it? And like,
Yeah.
you know, also at the same time, kind of, want that. It's like, it's almost like a bit of a pet peeve, like, oh, like, it's like they can't wait to say it wasn't better than the
Yeah,
last.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Which is totally fine. Like it doesn't rock me that much, especially knowing that I know the conditions I made this under, and I like the music. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Is what matters, and people that know me know where my heart's at, and know that when it comes to music, my intention is pure with it. So I'm not fussed, but it just fuels me for the next stuff, you know. And the reaction, I don't want to make it sound like the reaction has been terrible because it's been sick, and I
yeah,
definitely
yeah.
did not expect it to do what it's doing in the world.
Mm.
So I'm really, really pleased. But it's at the same time, it's just also like, okay, cool, they like this, but wait till they hear.
Yeah,
You
yeah. It's exciting. It's all exciting. Like I feel like because we tend to wait a little bit for an album, giving us this is nice to. Alright, cool. We've got Grey Area, we've got Drop Six, we got
yeah.
new music. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Grey Area doesn't feel old. It still feels very fresh to me. But I feel like you're very self-aware. You understand yourself. Do you know what I'm saying?
right.
Which comes across just through talking to you. Do you know what I mean? And through your music. But what's um, what's next though? Because I feel like
Mm,
there's like you, there's always a surprise from you. As in, when you go to a show now, we see you play everything. You're on everything as well. Like,
mhm.
what have you? What's the next thing? You're a full blown musician now. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think just like keeping it up, man. Like I think it's cool that I can dip into these things and I can get on stage and just hop behind the keyboard or pick up my guitar and pick up the bass or what have you and just and I'm not the greatest at any of these things. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And I even think that's cool. I think it's cool that people see me when I'm not amazing at this
Yeah,
because 10 years I'm gonna be a fucking bad gal.
of course. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. And I think like there's something to be said about just learning in front of people
Yeah,
because you can also do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not the easiest thing. And of course, there's been times where I've gotten on stage and I've hit the wrong note and I've, you know,
you wouldn't
what
even know. Like I definitely ain't seen that. So
happens. It definitely. But the next time I get on stage, I'm aware of that and it don't happen again. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
just learning. So in terms of what's next, I just want to continue to strengthen that area,
yeah,
uh, my ability, and like I'm always getting on the keys. I have an upright piano at home, and I've got keyboards and stuff. So I'm
yeah.
using them. I'm obviously writing a lot actually.
This is
Have,
time to write, isn't it?
yeah, for sure. Um, and I'm yeah trying to I guess like just figure out new ways to approach things or approach music and um, grow with my music as well. Like I can even hear it in my voice. I can hear I'm maturing. I can hear I'm touching on things that I've not touched on before, and I can just hear that within myself. So that's also good as well.
Yeah.
But no, I'm excited for what's to come. I think, yeah,
It's sick. I would love for like all the fans that have just discovered you now. Like
yeah.
I would love to sit down and like play all the archive and be like, fam, this is when she had her braid. Can you hear how her voice is higher? Like let's have a Sims 1-1. Do you know what I'm saying? It'll be fun. But I'm proper excited for you all the time. I'm really excited. I think it's great that you've been able to release something that's a bit more lighthearted. Show people that you really can spin.
And yo, this is the joys of, you know, being independent, low key.
Exactly.
Like, do what I want, you know what I mean? And there's no like, you know, that's no disrespect to anyone that's in this label situation or what have you, but just I'm just enjoying the fact that it's free flow, you know what I mean? A sudden burst of creativity, you man might get another EP next week, you know. That's not gonna be the case. But I'm just saying, like, I'm free to
You're
move
capable of doing that.
exactly, you know.
Yeah.
And I've, you know, really blessed to the team that facilitate it. All my crazy ideas, and like they just, all right, cool, like we trust it, let's run it.
Yeah.
So I feel good about it. And even like working with, so Asira OTG,
Yeah.
OTG, who obviously you know him,
Yeah.
he's my DJ and he produced Where's My Lighter on 6. He's about to drop an EP as well, which I'm really excited for, which is coming out under age 101. So even being able to just put music that's not mine out through my imprint,
That's it.
is also another like something to look forward to, you know.
Can you hear my niece, by the way? She's bare loud. I don't know if you can hear her screaming, but she's screaming loud. She's singing. But yeah, no, it's dope that you can. The song, what's it called? Is it The Book on OTG's tape? That song's dope. And I listened to that. I went through a phase where I just had that on repeat. And I was like, Sims is really singing though. She really did have vocals.
You're plugged in, you know that. But I love The Book. I love that song.
Yeah, no, it's banging.
And you know what I'm saying? That's one great thing I like about working with Osiris is like I feel comfortable to try new things with someone like him. He's so open-minded and is a really music person. Like understands sonics, understands musicality like to a T.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah.
And Cads did track 2, right? Is it track 2 you did?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I didn't know what song he did, but as soon as I pressed play on it, I was like, it must be him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that song, I love that song as well.
That is crazy because the song is obviously bass led.
Yeah.
Cads, he weren't playing
on the keys.
Yeah. So even that just showing like growth, like how we've all grown, you know.
Yeah.
I met him, I wasn't playing keys on stage. He taught me keys.
That's exactly it. And that's what I'm saying when I say we've watched you grow, especially with the band. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, like we see you get on the keys with Cads and you feel it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And you're like, you guys are looking at each other like, yeah, right, cool. Is it time kind of thing? But I think the band like itself, it feels like you guys have grown as a unit.
Yeah.
Anytime you come on stage, you rock the stage and then dip. So yeah, it's a special time. What about acting? Are you going to do some more acting roles? Obviously, Top Boy should be filming right now, right?
It should be filming right now, which is a burners, but it gets like that. And that's, you know, it's still going to go ahead and I've read a couple of the scripts, which are looking sick. I keep bumping into Ashley as well, like, near each other. So I see him a lot, and we're just like, just ready.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I've been reading other scripts and stuff, and I've been sent through things, but there's obviously nothing can really happen right now.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But that's another area that I'm definitely gonna dive into properly. Top Boy, I think, was a great like real kickstart for that. You know?
Yeah, Very big one too. Very big one. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to take too much of your time. I feel like I've taken bare already.
No, I've got time for you, Lashawna. Like, it's not.
Thank you, man.
Get
But
it out.
no, do you know what? I've been buzzing, you know, like for time
Yeah, chat to
to
me.
just
What's
ask as many questions. But I want to talk about a little bit like just the whole process, not even just the process of like, don't you feel too vulnerable sometimes? Like, like, because I don't know if I could do it. The one time I've been vulnerable and I was like, nah.
Yeah, I do. As a matter of fact, sometimes I feel like, yo, like you don't have to bear your heart on every single, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I can't help it. Like I can't not. I feel like what else am I gonna talk? Like I don't think people want to hear me just chat shit.
No,
You
they
know,
don't trust.
not to say that people that don't, people that are not vulnerable just talk shit, because that's not the case. But I just there's it's just what you're really skilled in doing, and some people can. Okay, music, sometimes you have to look at like movies, right? So if you
Yeah.
go to cinema and all the films are action based,
Yeah.
a bit much. You need a comedy here and there, you need a drama, you need a romance film, you need a little chick flick, you need options, you know
Yeah,
what I'm
it's true.
saying? So I feel like for me, you can get the conscious, you can get the introspective, you can get the vulnerability, and if you want to turn up shit, then
We
someone
could
else will
turn up, but we can turn up with you as well, fam.
turn up with me as well. But I'm just saying, like, I know where I'd sit in
Yeah.
this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's my thing. And if it ever gets to a point where I feel like, all right, I'm kind of, you know, I've let you in enough,
Do
then
you ever feel like that though?
sometimes I sometimes feel, yeah. And when I clock that is kind of in real life. Sometimes when I meet people and the conversations I have or what have you, I've really, it's like, right, you're probably talking to me like you know me. And
Yeah.
it's not like that's cool, but I've never met you, but I understand why you feel like that because of
Yeah.
how music is, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's very interesting to just, I don't know, kind of see that also and be like, oh, okay. Even
It's
now
true.
people call me Simbi, and it's like, oh, that's fine. I don't mind that. But I was only used to that being my friends and my family, and everyone else just call me Sims. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I understand in my songs, you know, I refer to myself as Sim or what have you, so people take that and run with it. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm not complaining. I love all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? It just, I'm an open book. Like you hear it in my music, so it's fine. But it's just interesting to, I don't know.
Because do you know what? I feel consciously as a person that interviews people, just presenting and stuff. Like
Yeah,
when it comes to artists like you,
yeah,
there's questions that I have in my head, like when I'm
yeah.
listening, like, oh shit, she really said that.
Mhm.
But when it comes to interviewing you, it's like, do I ask that though? Or
Right,
should I ask that? Because
right,
what you put out in your music is completely different to what you want to talk about. Just
right.
vocally with
Yeah.
someone, do you know what I'm saying? So
Of
I
course.
get the whole
Mm.
like coming from a place like, if I met Beyonce today, I'm gonna tell you like, sis, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
let's talk. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
when it comes to your music, people do feel like you've let them in and like we
But
know you.
you know, I think also like I think there's a difference in when you're asking me questions. Like I feel like you genuinely want to know. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
100%.
But this is what I'm saying. And sometimes when I do interviews, that's not always the intention. It's
Yeah.
just I'm just trying to cover grounds because this is the brief, and I just
Yeah,
want to.
yeah, yeah.
And so there is a bit of a wall where it's like, oh, okay, well, this is super personal, and I'm not going to talk about this if I feel like you,
Yeah.
you're not
Because
invested.
I
You
do
know?
I do wonder that with a lot of people, not even just you or just anyone, but anyone that puts their heart out on their music.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel comfortable talking with Sally from this station? Do you know what I'm saying? Because she's just trying to get the name. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I did Sims. And I'm
sure.
sure, does that come to you consciously? Like,
Sometimes, yeah, especially when, well, for example, on Grey Area, I can't even tell you how many interviews I've
yeah,
done. And at that point, it just becomes a bit repetitive and, like, okay, you're just trying to cover grounds or what have you. And then I kind of, to be honest, just go on autopilot
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I know what you're going to ask. So I've already planned my art. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Being really real, But I think it's like on a rare occasion like this where I feel like you're someone that I know has been following my journey. So everything you're asking is warranted, you know what I'm saying? And it's
yeah.
like I said, you genuinely want to know. So
And do you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as your Little Sims who I've been listening to for years, it's like, because I've been listening to you for years, I understand the diary concept of it. And I'm just like, but has anyone asked her if she's all right? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, is she okay though? Because there's things that you go through and you have to go through it through kind of like on a magnifying glass. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you're also putting it out there. And that's why I just think it's a courageous thing to even just be so vulnerable.
I feel you definitely. But I'm like, no, I was gonna say I'm just scale it back. I'm not gonna scale it back, but just again trying to like find some sort of balance in it because you're always gonna listen to a Sims project and get some sort of vulnerability.
Yeah, it's true. From day one.
From day one, right? Yeah. So that's just embedded in me. That's just who I am. But I'm definitely, I guess, in going into the new phase as well, like I said, just trying to find new ways to approach it, new ways to say things and get my point across, which is just growth, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know what just came to mind? I remember listening to an interview and you were saying that you and Inflo worked on the grime tape. You got a whole grime tape that you ain't put out. So what's like,
that ain't coming out.
Why not though? Like, you're just gonna keep it. Why are you hiding this from everyone?
Do you know what? Okay, so when we was making Grey Area, we made all the songs or what have you, and 101 was one of the last ones we made, and he just gets like, I don't know, he just gets gassed in it. We was both really gassed about the song, and he starts making these other grime beats. He's like, yo, let's just do this grime tape. Like, basically, let's just scrap the album. Like, because I understand where he's coming from as well. Sometimes it's like, it's cool to keep people in a certain vibe. When you listen to Grey Area, there's so many different vibes. And
yeah, it's true.
Although it's concise, it's hard to gauge. People are going to get lost. It's like, it's jazz over here and it's funk over here, but
yeah,
over here, and then it's 90s hip hop over here. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so we ended up like, I demoed some stuff or what have you, and it was fun in the moment, but whether or not it will manifest into being like a project is another, I don't know.
Just like do like a deluxe and just have it there.
Yeah, possibly. Actually, they still hit though, low key.
See, I can imagine they do. Like, I remember when as soon as I heard 101 FM, I was like, oh my god,
really?
Like, that's a wrap. As soon as it goes off, goes off.
That's crazy.
It
and
does.
Even that song, like, it was so quick and easy for me to write, because when I heard it, it's like, this feels like 09, 010, like,
yeah.
And this is taking me back, and this is easy. All I got to do is talk about what I was going for at that time. I remember it so vividly. You know what I mean?
That's the song that you say you made like the biggest hit in 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, that is a classic. Yeah. Yeah, whatever I said. Yeah. That's the song, yeah.
Of course. Oh man, I love that album, man. Would you do so okay. In the perfect world, in my brain, I would like to see, and my friends that we sit down, I swear to God, we have picnic time and talk about Sims' tapes. That's what we do. But in a perfect world for us, we would say in the life of Sims, where you're documenting your album process and
Okay.
talking about it on a major scale. And like we see all of these times, all these vulnerabilities, like just kind of like a film. Would you ever do something like that?
100%. My only thing with those kind of things is like, I just want it to be done well. Like,
Yeah.
I think I can let you in to the process and have a camera in the studio and all of that stuff, but I don't know. I can't. There always has to be something more with me. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, what am I trying to say with this? I understand it's one thing letting people into the process and almost letting people into the studio. But I would want it to be done well. So I'm up for that 100%. I don't know, maybe we can try and look at that.
Because I feel like it would be perfect. And I think the kind of person you are is, as I said, like you give it to us, but then in your interviews, you don't say much, or you
Mm-hmm.
do say a little bit, and
Mm-hmm.
then you'll draw back again. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like for you to take control and just give us exactly what it is. And
Yeah,
you take control of exactly what you're saying and what you're putting out there. I feel like it would be perfect
control,
situation.
control the narrative. Yeah, for sure.
It'll be hard.
Definitely. No, I'm
Just
with that. Definitely.
like
And there is, raw footage like that.
I was
That
about
it,
to say that I know you have that stuff. Of
yeah,
course.
100%, 100%. And that's true. And sometimes I watch it back and I think this is too raw. Like,
But it's not like
but
it's
it's
not,
not.
man.
It's not for real.
It's
For real.
not. It
It
was
was
from that.
you though as well, just to say like it's
Thank you.
like I see it.
It's crazy.
I'm watching. I see it all, and it's only gonna keep elevating. And I think your drive and just your approach and your intention behind what you do, I think is sick and I think it's rare. And that's why I was so like, I was on my team, like, holler that girl.
Yeah. No,
You
I
know what I'm
appreciate that for real.
saying? Yeah, man. I think it's important. And I think just as an artist, you know what I'm saying? Like, every artist is different in it, but I know from when I get interviewed, what I would hope people touch on, you kind of do that without.
Yeah.
I don't have no worries, you know what I'm
Do you know what I'm
saying?
saying? That's another thing. Like, for me personally, I wouldn't want to give you a shit interview. Do you know what I'm saying? You've
Right.
come out of your time, your space to come and talk to me, and it's gonna do more benefit for me than you,
Yeah,
especially. Do you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to. Like, I want to come from a genuine place. I mess with your music. I know and talk about it. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah. And
So
it comes like I get that, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
and I've, like I said, I've been interviewed by many, many people, and there's only a certain number I'd be like, I've come next album, please make sure we talk to and Lashawna,
yeah. No, I
So,
appreciate that for real. Because even like when I listened to the first interview with you, I was so excited. Like I didn't even ask the questions I was supposed to ask. That's how excited I was. Like legit. And I didn't even turn the mic on. I
ah,
didn't even turn the mic on.
uh,
I forgot.
is your mic on that? You can hear
It's
me, yeah?
100% on now. Nah, it's definitely on. But like your
Yeah,
photography, yeah?
okay.
Okay. Are you gonna like, is this gonna be a thing? Are you going to make it a thing that's not so personal to you? You're gonna let us in?
Yes.
Yeah?
Answer, yeah, I will, definitely. I
Because I
just,
feel like you did a bit on the grey area
yeah,
with the covers and that.
yeah. And even that wasn't, it, like, I didn't plan for it to be what it was. I just believed that I can capture this though. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can capture it and it would still be hard, but I think it would just be a lot more cool if it was actually through my lens,
Yeah.
you know, and I think it came out all right.
It did.
And
The
so going,
photo book that you made looks really good as well,
oh, thank you.
from the angle we can see it at. But
Yeah,
it does look good. It looks proper good.
thank you. Yeah, all of that stuff. I'm heavily into that stuff, and even just how that whole thing came about was just so used to being in front of the camera, in front of the camera, in front of the camera, and as much as I understand that's my job, I do like to sort of take a back seat sometimes and just be behind the lens and just
Yeah.
learn. And I start doing that. And again, I had my photographer Tam, who is grown to be one of my closest friends now, has really helped push me as well. I
Yeah.
think that when you have someone, again, it's just same with Kadeem or Cad, sorry. His name is Kadeem, but
Yeah.
he's just calling everyone their real names, isn't it? But yeah, same with Cads. Like when I met him, he wasn't doing bass, he picked it up. When Tam met me, I wasn't shooting like that. And you know, through
Yeah.
time, you just be around like-minded people, and you just grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that I'm. Everyone's been on me about this, so I'm gonna let you in for sure.
I think you have to,
For sure.
because we get given it in doses, but we know
Yeah.
it's there and we know it means a lot to you. So it's like, all right, cool. When are you gonna show us?
It's just I haven't been doing it obviously for as long as I've been doing music, so I'm still growing my confidence in that area.
Yeah, yeah.
But I feel like I'm at a good place to start. Like, okay, here's my work. Grey
That'll be
area will
amazing.
probably, I don't know, where it begun.
It's special. It's special. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave you because I feel like the time's gonna run out soon as well. But thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate this.